Alright, I think we're live. Are we live? Alright, we're live. So, we are going to continue our playthrough of our Vengeance Paladin, and we'll go over the gear, the character, and all that kind of stuff here. We're just starting Nightmare. Last stream we went and we finished up Act 5. We also did an extra bail run because in our first bail run we dropped this beauty. So we'll go over. So basically, with Vengeance, the main thing that you're looking for is actually it's not plus to skills and stuff like that, like you would normally expect with an elemental build. It's physical damage, because all of your Vengeance damage, all that elemental stuff, is percentages of your physical damage added on top. So the higher your physical damage, the more you're going to deal with Vengeance. So we went from like a two-handed sword that did, like base damage, like that blue number was something like 12 to 38 or something, to this. Yeah, it's a lot slower, but we punched a hole in it, so if we do find a shale rune or something like that, we can put it in there. And our damage like quadrupled immediately. Yeah, Bonesnap is awesome. I was and it looks cool. Our paladin running around with a big old hammer that has a skull on it. That's pretty sweet. So, initially my thoughts were to run this character would run with swords and axes, and that could still happen if depending on what we find later on, if we find, other drops as we move forward. But if we don't find anything cool, and we can just up this, and this would be able to carry us pretty far, potentially all the way through hell. So, Bonesnap is awesome. As far as the rest of our gear, we have just the Magic Find helmet that we made, that helped us land this Bonesnap, so that's cool. We desperately need better jewelry, because right now we just have an energy and mana amulet, and I do have the Angelic's amulet, but I don't have the rings yet. So hopefully we can find an Angelic's ring off of Andariel or something, and then we can wear that combo, and that'll give us a bunch of life and an insane amount of attack rating. Sanders boots, these are great because it's maxed out faster run walk, attack rating, and then some stats. That's all the things we care about. It would be nice to have resistances on here because we do not have a shield. We're using two-handers, so resistances are at a premium. So we'll probably run these through Nightmare, but when we get to Hell, we might have to switch these out for if we find some resistance boots. Big old attack rating ring. This could definitely be replaced by Angelic's, which would be much bigger, or really just anything. And if we find a ring that has some attack rating and then resistances on it, that would be great. It's the same exact thing here. Our belt is actually not bad. It has a pile of resistances on it and some strength, but it could be better. For sure. Life would be great on it. And then we have some attack speed and cold resist gloves. So really the main thing that we're looking for moving forward is, and then we have stealth. And with a teleport staff on swap. So the main thing we're looking for really is those, the resistances moving forward. Because as you can see, our resistances are kind of poopy. We have enough strength we have 75 strength because we were steadily increasing strength and dexterity to be able to use whatever cool weapon we found. Luckily, we had enough to be able to wield this Bonesnap. And then the rest is going to vitality. We don't care about energy. Even though mana is at a premium for us, which is why we're wearing this mana amulet, because Vengeance right now costs 8.5 mana per swing, and we only have 100 mana. So let's go to our skill tree. We'll start with combat skills because this is our main skill here is Vengeance. Next point we'll max this out. And as you can see down there, the synergies are the resist auras. Resist fire, resist cold, resist lightning, and salvation. We are not going to invest in resist cold, and we'll explain that here in a second. 1 point wonder into charge. If you are using a sword and board version on your build, go ahead and get Holy Shield. Holy Shield's just incredibly good, and you can get with some plus to skills, you can get this up and get max block, and it'll be super awesome. But I'm using two-handers, so Holy Shield doesn't do anything for me. Offensive auras, we are using Conviction. Someone in the chat mentioned last stream that it could be fun because we have a Bonesnap. Like we have just this massive damage stick that's a little bit slow. We could run Fanaticism to give us like the attack speed and damage and stuff. The only thing is I don't know if this damage actually affects the elemental added portions to Vengeance, because Vengeance is really weird and only actually takes on very specific things. Like charms I know work, like charms added like plus maximum damage, those things work. And there's a bunch of stuff that you would think it would add to your physical damage that would work on Vengeance, and it doesn't. So this is one of them. I'm pretty sure that this and Might Aura both, like the physical part of our attack would increase, but the actual added elemental I think will not. And so Conviction's just going to be better for us. Also, this does give minus enemy defense as well as the minus resistances, so not only are we doing more damage, but we're also hitting them more effectively. So this is going to be something we're going to put some points into as we go. But here's our main synergies. Resist fire, resist lightning. We are not putting in points into resist cold, mainly because in Hell, our Conviction Aura potentially can break fire and lightning, and those so that we can those are still worth investing into. We can't break cold. And so rather than trying to break something that's unbreakable, we just lean into the other two things. And so cold resistant monsters are going to get murdered because we have so much fire and lightning damage. The fire and lightning immunes, we can theoretically break them, and the ones that we don't, we still have the other element, and as well as cold that we're dealing them. You could also get other 1-point wonders in here. You can get vigor if you wanted to, and you could get like redemption if you really wanted to. If you're like we're worried about mana and stuff, which we currently are. And then, so what we're gonna as we move along, we want to get enough points into Conviction to get to minus 150%. Anything beyond that is wasted points. It doesn't actually work. And then we want to max these guys out, and then start maxing this out. We'll probably actually max these out alongside of as we move up with Conviction, and we'll probably kind of do a split of like here, point of Conviction, here, point of Conviction. We'll figure that out as we go. And then our mercenary, he just has a resistance and life helmet, resistance and life and dex and fast trade recovery armor, just a big old poker that does much poison damage, has prevent monster heal, which is pretty cool. But what we're looking to make him is we're going to look for a 4-socket base and make him an insight. That's the main thing we want to do. We also did have this partisan, but he just doesn't have enough strength for it. Not yet. So we'll talk to Akara. And see, the attack speed, it says slow, and it is slow for sure. It's not nearly as fast as our sword was, but it doesn't feel bad. It's not like we're like, you know, it feels not that bad. So I'm not super worried about the slow attack speed. Now, if we get into a pickle and we're completely surrounded by enemies and stuff, then it could potentially be a problem. So we'll keep an eye out for that. But you know, if we're careful with our positioning and we're smart on how we approach our fights, then this should be totally fine. The attack speed being low is like that. Like we just blew that guy up, literally. That was awesome. Alright guys, give me 1 second here. Alright. So, sorry about that. So we're going to continue on here a little bit, and then we may adjust players count as we go. That's kind of one of the benefits of us playing offline, is we don't need other players. We can kind of just adjust the players count as we want. Again, this is a solo self-found run, so we don't have... There's a lot of things that we don't have access to. But I'm trying to run this series of playthroughs as though if a new player is watching and they're wanting to start their account and they're starting from scratch, what are some things that they can do? Now, I wouldn't necessarily recommend Vengeance as your first character, as if you want to be really efficient and like you're farming and building for like you're building up your account. But I also am a very big proponent of play what you think is cool, and if you think this build is cool, then by all means play it. This was what the Discord voted to see, so this is what we're playing. And I think this build is actually really sweet. I think it's really fun. And I actually think it's pretty decently strong. Like, yes, it's not we're not gonna be breaking any land speed records. We're not gonna be, you know, we're not like a warlock or a hammered in, or well, like more actually the real hammered in, because we actually are fighting with a hammer. But we're not, you know, we're not a warlock. We're not a hammered in. We're not a blizz source. We're not like this. The super fast builds are gonna, yeah, they're gonna leave us in the dust. But we have some game, right? We have some strengths, some things that we can do that are pretty good, and well, we can have a perfect diamond now. So if we do, unfortunately we're not using a shield, but if we were, that would be a good thing. You could put into a shield. I'm going to hang on to this jewel in case we want to craft some gloves or something. That is something kind of on my to-do list. I'm going to grab some mana potions as well. That's another thing too, is since we've switched to Bonesnap, we're not chewing through mana quite as bad, and that's because we're straight up just murdering things in one swing. Like bang. But now, again, we could turn the players count up. I actually realized after the stream yesterday that we played on players count 3 for like the entire time. So we actually killed Bale on players 3 and stuff. Which is why the Minions of Destruction were so tough, because we were actually like weren't playing against them on players 1. So if you do have to play multiple characters, remember that the players count switches does persist between you switching in and going in and out of the game. So yeah, it's always good to check when you first log in to see if your players count is actually where you want it to be. There's a staff. We're still picking up items to potentially sell if we it's plus 1 to chain lightning. That's probably worth something. That would be I think memory is, I think, a 4-socket rune word you can make. It's pretty expensive though, if I remember correctly, so you probably want to... I'm not super familiar with the staff rune words, because the only one I ever really make is leaf. But I know that there's like memory and a few other ones. I've just never made them. So I don't even know if they're good. I know that like if you're playing an enchant source, there's a one of those that's really good to make. But I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. We couldn't one-shot corpse fire. And see how I kind of backed up there when I started getting hit? That's what I mean by positioning is important. We're playing a melee character. So we need to be cognizant of, you know, where we're standing and how we're fighting things. Because the last thing you want as most melee characters is to get surrounded and then get stuck into hit recovery for Oblivion and then die. Now, yes, can happen to any character, but with a lot of casters and stuff, you're fighting from a distance more, so you're kind of able to see that kind of stuff coming. Or, well, it's less likely to happen just because you're fighting from a distance. But when we're up in people's face and we're hitting them in the face with a hammer, they will try to surround us, and we want to be prepared for that. We got a straggler. We got 2 stragglers. That's annoying. Where are you at? I do have I did get a new setup as far as my desk and everything. A buddy of mine bought a new desk, and so he was selling his old. He was gonna get rid of his old one, and so he gave it to me. So I'm getting used to that. My monitor is actually way higher up, so instead of like looking down, I'm looking up a little bit. So it's gonna be a while so to get used to that, but I'm pretty stoked to have a new desk. It's also a lot smaller than I was on like a fold-out card table before. 20 faster run walk and nothing else. Not interested. Alright, so with our bonus skill, we can't go to Vengeance. We'll go Conviction. So now we have minus 56% enemy defense and 35 resist all. So that's basically like we're doing 35% more damage. Kind of. I mean, our physical damage doesn't go up, but the bulk of our damage is not physical damage. Okay. Like for us, we're fire and cold predominant, or fire and lightning dominant. A little, cold's not far behind. It's like 50% behind, and then obviously physical is the smallest percentage of that. Our physical is basically like an eighth of our damage or something like that at this point. It's between a seventh and an eighth. Now what would be cool actually is some kind of mana leech. Even though we're not doing a ton of physical damage, we're doing enough that like leech would be really helpful. That is until we find an insight. Once we find an insight, we're never going to worry about mana again. Because we're, like I said, we're not really a caster. We don't attack fast enough to like really worry about the fact that our spell costs 10 mana or whatever, close to 10 mana. There's an edge bow. That's pretty cool. A little sky strike action for you. This is a cool one. Has a bunch of IAS, some damage, some attack rating, some lightning damage, and energy. +1 to Amazon skills. But it also drops. It has a 2% chance to drop meteors on people's heads when you strike. What the hell's in here? So it's kind of neat. 2% isn't a lot, but if you're running like a strafe, it's, not terrible. It's the same chance as getting a Valkyrie proc on your Peace Rune word, so. Which that's actually something interesting that I'd like to mention as well, if we wanted to, like, if you were like worried about safety and stuff, once we get to Countess, which will be there shortly, you could build a peace rune word on here, because you don't have to be an Amazon to wear peace. You don't get the +2 to skills, obviously, if you're not an Amazon, but anyone can take a benefit of the chance to summon Valkyrie on hit or on striking. And if you wanted like a minion to help like protect you and keep you alive, Valkyrie is crazy good, especially since when you get like level 15 or 17 or something. I think it's 15, the one you get from Peace. And at this point, level 15 Valkyrie could clear Nightmare. Like, in Hell it starts to fall off because monsters do a boatload of damage and stuff, but like, and are like really tanky. But in Nightmare, she probably killed the whole game. Like, honestly. So, if when we get to the tower as we're farming, we're gonna farm an Amrune anyway, because we're gonna want, in addition to getting an insight, which we'll definitely want, we also want to get a strength rune word for our mercenary that we can have him use until he gets an insight. And strength is also strength is crushing blow, which will help us for bosses. Not that we're super like in the market for crushing blow, because we already have an insane amount of it on Bonesnap, but a little bit extra never hurt anybody. But yeah, so we're really looking for something to some upgrades for our mercenary would be very, very helpful. Eventually, we'd like to also make him a bulwark would be really cool. Or if we go with if we do find a decent insight base and make an insight, we could go with a prayer merc instead of the place and aim one, and then we'd get then we could make him a cure helm, and that would give him cleansing aura, which operates. It does like a weird, because cleansing is synergized with this thing and this thing, this whole row. If you have all these active at the same time, they like are better than the sum of their parts, and they're like super. It's like a super resist basically, or it's like a super. They all take like more often and bigger, and that's what it's weird. My words aren't coming out properly, but oh my god. Yeah, be careful for archers. That was one pretty wild damage there. Alright. Well, that was a touch spooky. You little turd. Oh, here's a partisan, because this could be... Oh, come on. Four sockets, please. Let's go. Alright, there's our insight base. So anyway, so as far as what I was talking about strength, the strength word, we don't care anymore. We found our insight base. Let's go ahead and put that in the box straight away, because this is, which means we can sell this because we don't care anymore. Kind of hoping that staff would be worth more than that. Bows are never worth like a lot, which is unfortunate. Yeah, so let's see. We'll set our runes aside that we need. So there's Rao, Tyr, Tal, and we need a soul rune. That's the one we're looking for from the Countess, no, mainly. And then other than that, we can look at other things that we want to make. But that's our primary concern right now is that soul rune. God dang, more archers. Jeez. And of course, they don't fight us straight up. They run away. Come on, click on her, please. Thank you. There we go. There's a towel. As far as our mercenary as well, currently we are using there's another partisan. That's kind of hilarious. There's a 3-socket one there, so if we didn't have the access to the inside base, we could use that one. Potentially make like a. It's not called Hustle anymore. I don't remember what it's Mania or whatever the hell it's called. Alright, so we found the exit. Now we're going to go and look for the waypoint. We're going to just charge around here. And geez, slow. I don't like that. That's another thing we need to definitely figure out at some point is cannot be frozen. So we could get lucky, and it could come from we could get a drop from Andariel or a Mephisto, which would kind of be ideal. Ooh, a flawless sapphire, that's pretty sweet. Come on, waypoint, where are you at? There's the book. Yes, archers are killing me. Archers are definitely the most dangerous thing in here, especially in Nightmare. In Hell, these crows can also be pretty dangerous, and the lance ladies are also very dangerous. Where's this waypoint at? This is wild. Oh, there it is. Okay. +1 to jab and spear skills is pretty sweet. We'll go ahead and repair as well while we're here. Okay. There's a weird little stutter there. Oh, god dang it. I don't know why it's doing that. Ugh. My clicks are not, like, seemingly to be very accurate lately. It's kind of like, I don't really know what I'm doing wrong. Ugh, this frozen is terrible. Yeah, as I was saying, cannot be frozen is going to be super important. So there are certain items we can drop from, like, Andariel or Mephisto that would be really helpful. Something like, obviously, in Hell we could drop like a Ravenfrost. That would be probably the best. A Duriel's Shell would be good. A Darksight Helm would be good. Horizon's Boots in Hell would be great. Death's Belt and Boot combo would be, or Belt and Sash combo would be awesome. And if we get really, really hard pressed as we move forward and we're just not finding any Cannot Be Frozen, we actually could go back to normal and just farm Andariel for like a little bit, and then we probably have a good chance of finding them. Because Andariel has a pretty good drop chance for those. Okay. What? Just dive, Dan. Jeez. As far as our mercenary, again, we have Blessed Aim right now. Midor doesn't do anything for us, really. Again, it just only affects the physical portion of our damage, not our elemental. So we're probably not going to use Might. So we could either go the Prayer with the Insight route, or we can, if you're going two-handers, this is a great Rhyme base. Although I'd probably make it in a Paladin shield. Since we are a Paladin, we can have access to those shields. That's just the best way of doing it. Ow. Okay. I'm trying to think of other things that cannot be frozen innately on them. We could, if again, we could build a Hearth helm potentially. That's an option. Give us a bunch of resistance to one element, and then cannot be frozen. I think it's resist fire. Maybe it's resist cold. I don't remember. It's not one I build very often. Oh, jeez. Cursed is a jackass. Cursed minions are awful. Again, another reason why the Cure Helm will eventually potentially be good. The Cleansing Aura. Granted, we could put a point in Cleansing Aura ourselves, but, you know, why put in a point when you can just get it from gear? And we're not synergized into prayer like our mercenary could be. The other mercenary we could look at getting... Ow! Yeah, we could stick with Holy... We could stick with Blessed Aim. Holy Freeze would also be pretty good, just for safety purposes. If you're not worried about the auras, we can also look into getting like an Act 5 merc. They're really strong. They just like, they're tanky as all hell, and give them a little bit of lifesteal and a couple decent swords, and they like won't die. But they're more of an individual contributor. They're going to do damage and stuff, but they're not going to like, you're not going to get an aura from them, right? You also could get an Act 3 Fire Mercenary that has enchant on it. But if you're going to do that, probably just better to stick with the guy we have. Man, nobody's dropping mana potions right now. Right. Grand Charm. Always want to check these. 14 to life. Not really great for where we're at right now. The one we have at least has mana on it as well, which isn't... Okay. Anyway. Yeah. Ow! Jeez! I don't know what I got stuck on. That was annoying. That's a problem. That's gonna be a hell of a walk. Now, you could just save and exit. That's probably what I would do if I wasn't streaming, honestly. Get away from me. Come on, mercenary, do something. Thank you. There we go. Alright. So it wasn't too bad of a walk back. Luckily we have charge. If we didn't have charge, that would have been miserable. But we do, so it wasn't too bad. Whack. 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 Jeez. All this cold damage is really getting irritating. There we go. One thing you could do also to deal with those little mobs of shitheads is have a secondary weapon. That's what we're going to keep. Actually, I think that's what we're going to keep our eye out for next. Is thanks you, Mr. Bot. I don't care. Leave me alone, please. The stream is not for you. We're going to keep an eye out for a second weapon, one that attacks fast, and it does, you know, for when we run into these mobs of little weak guys like Fallen, the little dudes in Act 3, stuff like that. Just to, like, get them the hell off of us, because we're taking way too much damage from, like, little annoying guys like this. And it's just because we can't attack fast enough. Granted, putting in, when we get the Shale Rune for our Bonesnap, that's also going to help, but, yeah. So keeping an eye out for that secondary faster weapon is also something we're going to be focusing on here. So that's one reason why maybe we shouldn't have sold all of our swords, but alas, here we are. At least not the 3-socket one. We probably should have kept that in for our King's Grace base. Alright. So Vengeance is maxed. Let's go here. My back is still horrendously messed up. I need to probably see a doctor at this point. Alright, that was a horrendously long underground passage. Okay. So again, we'll drop a safety TP, mainly because we don't want to get bum rushed by idiots like this. But also, if we die in here, that's a hell of a long walk back. So that's why I drop a safety TP whenever I come into this zone. Not necessarily because this zone's any more dangerous than previous zones, it's just it's so far away. I don't, like, the last thing I want is to, like, die and have to walk all the way back here. Like, it was already, when we died in the passage, it was a little bit annoying having to walk that far, but all the way through it that would be miserable. So far of our spawns, we have Fallen, Bow Dudes, and Lance Ladies. Lance Ladies are by far the most dangerous, because the Bone Bow Dudes aren't near. Oh my god! Why did she? Oh, jeez, that was insane. It did so much damage to me, like, instantaneously. Jeez. Alright. Again, Lance Lady is very dangerous. Good grief. And then these little shitheads freezing us is also annoying. Yeah, for new players, there's a big difference between the Lance Ladies and then the Sword Axe Ladies. The ones with the one-handed weapons, they're not. I mean, yes, they can swarm you. Yes, they can. They're not nothing. They are dangerous, like all monsters in this game, but they're not nearly as scary as the other ones. So there's a Huskina. It's 3 sockets. Base damage is pretty low. I'm not really gonna worry about it. We're looking for the tree and the waypoint. It's important that we find both. Warhammer, if that was socketed, that'd be something I'd be interested in looking at. Oh my lord, there it is. Jeez, that was quite the trek. Okay. Now we need to find the tree. Check this full helm and see if it's 2 sockets. It's only one, so we don't care. 2 and 3 socket helms are worth our time. 2, we can make a lore or just like a resistance helmet. 3, we can make it a resistance helmet or like a bulwark or hearth or something. Hearth is probably the one I'm most interested in because it can't be frozen. Alright. There's the tree. We're gonna teleport, get our mercenary back with us. Jeez. Curse hits hard. Oh no, he killed his aide. Poor his aide, I'm sorry. I failed you. Die. Let's go ahead and get back his aide who bravely sacrificed himself. I'm trying to click on a car. I don't. +2 to strength. That's poopy. That's poopy. It's also not good. Sorry, I need to take an allergy pill. I'm getting got hit really hard all of a sudden. Oh my gee, my lord, my eye. That's the thing that really sucks about having. I don't know if any of you guys have allergies, but that's one thing that really sucks about allergies. Is at least mine. They're very very severe. Like as far as like going from 0 to 60 on it. So like if either I'm totally fine or I'm like horrendously miserable very very quickly. I get really bad. I have really bad grass allergies, so my eyes will get like really really itchy and red and puffy, and I can't see anything. My nose will be all, or my sinuses will be all messed up. I get rashes and stuff. It's really bad. Not as bad as some people's allergies. I have some friends that are even way even worse off, or have a whole bunch of allergies, and that really sucks. But allergies are just super annoying. All right, so let's go back. Let's go to the Stony, and let's go rescue Kane. Yeah, it was a good guess, mostly, once I got the first one. Good lord. Guy won't stop running away. We'll actually hang on to that because that gives us the opportunity if we want to use the Act 1 mercenary and use an insight. Which isn't necessarily, I mean, it's really not better than the Act 2 mercenary, but it's interesting. And I'm all about doing things because they're fun over if they're good or not. This guy needs to die. Alright, let's get those champions dead. Let's get this idiot dead. Jeez, cursed is bad. Man, so much cursed stuff. Ow. Alright. Main guy is dead at least. Ow. Jeez. Die. Alright, you need to go and get killed. Thank you. Okay. Ooh, chain boots, those should be good. Ow. Ow, what in the hell? You little turd. Die. Backstabber. Jeez. Yeah, it's not even 3 sockets. That's 2. The reason I'm looking for 3 sockets is prepare for down the road if we can make like a treachery, ideally, in hell. Granted, we probably want to make it in a better base, so let's just get out of here. Fire resist plus 8%. Thank you, 10 life. You've served us well, but you are no longer, your services are no longer required. That could go away. FCR and attack rating, mana and energy. We don't really need FCR for anything other than teleport staff. His attack rating was like 79. I'd probably be interested in this thing. We will keep it in the stash just in case we decide we want to use an FCR ring, but I doubt we'll be using that thing. Now, we are also still, we're level 38. You could definitely be like level 45 or something right now if you wanted to stay and farm normal a little bit. So, as you notice, we're taking a lot of damage. We're having some oh shit moments. If you wanted to avoid that, just stay in normal and farm for a while, right? You can farm up to like level 45 or something if you really wanted to. do with what you're comfortable, do what feels comfortable to you. If it's your first playthrough, you may want to take that extra time. Also, one thing to note, there's no such thing as being over leveled for a melee character. Because since your level versus the monster's level is part of the attack rating equation and whether or not you hit, being quote over leveled is a good thing because it just means you hit more often. So that's the other thing too, is if you're wanting to be a little bit more safe and farm a little more, definitely do that. I'm a little bit playing through a little bit faster than some. Not blazing speed by any means, because I'm not like a speedrunner or anything, but yeah, if you wanted to take a little bit more time and farm, that would probably be the wise choice. We are going to fight these guys. Again, we're fighting this pack because there was a leader there, so this means that these guys are worth 500% experience, and they're 3 levels higher than the area. So whenever you see champions or a boss monster and their minions, you want to kill them if you can. So the Black Marsh, we definitely need the waypoint here because we're going to be farming the tower for a bit, probably. Bow ladies and brutes is a little scary. And fallen, of course. Or carvers, I guess. And these crows, again, are very annoying. They actually do pretty good damage, and they poison you, so they're not like... I know they look kind of like they're probably not too terribly menacing, but they really are. Especially in hell, they do like a lot of damage. Die. 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 I like to get rid of, at least get rid of the shamans. Alright. Oh, jeez. Heard a gem drop somewhere. Didn't see where. Come on, click the monster, please. Jeez. Oh, what is going on today? Okay, we're not ready to leave yet. We need to, again, we need the tower and the waypoint. That Scudum is, or however you say that, I have no idea how you say that word, is an elite base, so it's a bigger, better shield, basically, if you are in the market for those. There's the tower. Hopefully the waypoint is nearby. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Good day. Come on. All right. We're going for the tower. The thing to really look out for in here is these assholes. We have mana burn, which we already have issues with mana, so they're very annoying. And the other thing to look out for in here is the bow sisters. They do innate cold damage and will slow you and murder the hell out of you very quickly. Especially if they have, like, you know, cursed or some bullshit on them. So keep an eye out for those. Those are the things to really worry about in here. Okay, we've got the not too terrible level 1. Now there is a lot of XP to be gained in here, so if we do a whole bunch of runs of the tower, it is not the end of the world, kind of like it is normal. Each floor has, you know, some bosses that we could farm. Actually, this might be the right way. Yeah, it is. Okay. Take a look at our charms we found. That's no good. 12 to life. We'll keep that one. Okay, that was a uneventful floor there. These guys. These ladies are the ones that we were worried about, the Dark Archers. They, as you can see, they do cold damage, so they slow you. And they also just hit really hard. And there's usually, I mean, the odds are pretty good that there's quite a few of them. We got lucky there's only 2, but sometimes there's like 10 of them. And that's really scary. Because they will cut your life total down very quickly. Luckily, we also do have that Nova proc. That keeps us a little bit safe. Frost Nova would be even better. Especially for these little types of critters. Because it would freeze them all, but... Okay, I kind of want to lure him closer to me here. There we go. We are smarter than the AI, so that's good. Again, that guy was a boss, so we're gonna kill his homies. Jeez. Okay. She's not in here. Interesting. She must be in the other. Sometimes she goes out here. Yep. Just an Ethrone. Nothing to write home about. Let's see. So we got a Row, Tier, Talon. So if we get 2 soul runes, we could roll both this and this. That way, if we get a poopy roll on the first on one of them, we could try again. That's kind of my thought. Oh, we got some upgraded skull action. Let's go ahead and repair, and we'll get the quest from Charcy. Let's actually look and see what she has. She has anything cool. 25 life and some fire res. Not as good as what we have. But Charcy is good to check because sometimes she can get like faster unlock boots with resistances and stuff, which could potentially be be good. Because again, our resistances are poop. Even though, which is crazy too, because Bonesnap gives us 60 resistance. Just is the nature of the beast here. Alright, so we're going to exit, and then we're going to go back and we're going to run Countess again. We're going to do this a few times because we need at least a Shale rune for our hammer. And then we need at least 2 soul runes for our insights. I'm going to roll both of them. That way we have an option. And then we can take a look and see which one we want to use. And again, we're farming Countess on players 1. Now you could do the you could do the tower on players whatever, and then the Countess on players 1. But you always want to kill Countess on players 1 because of her special rune drop is actually like worse if you do it on higher players count. She's like the only monster in the game that's like that. So you want to do her on players 1. But again, it's, as we've seen, you know, I'm a bit under leveled. It is pretty dangerous in here with the archers and stuff. So I'm just going to keep it on players 1. But if you're a little higher level and you're safer, or if, you know, maybe you're doing the one-handed build and you got your holy shield going, and so you got like some good block, and you're not super worried about the archers, and then maybe you got probably better resistances than we do if you got the shield thing going. Then by all means, turn the player's count up a little bit if you feel comfortable. Just make sure you turn it back down before you kill the Countess. So here's a Targe. Has damage on it, so this is actually would be like if you could get this with sockets, this would be a great shield for our build. I think that damage does count, but I could be wrong. I'll have to consult those who know more than me in between streams. Ow. Also, getting some damaged reduced gear would be really helpful. Whether that be, you know, damage reduced by X, match damage reduced by X, or just straight up like physical damage reduction percentage. Alright, this is a little bit oh my goodness. Okay, we want to lure him forward again. Oh my god, there's 2 groups of them. Okay. Eat explosive barrel. Okay. Alright, first group is down. Now let's... I want to kill her. There we go. Alright, well done, team. And I also like to pick up claws because you can get some pretty crazy blue and yellow claws. You can get like +5 and +6 to skills because you can get like +2 martial arts, plus whatever. Or plus whatever, plus the actual skill itself. We'll go lightning here. We're up to 900 to 1300 damage. And enemies have -35 res, so... You know... We're doing good damage here. Damage is not our problem by any means. Survivability is a little sus, but that is the way when you're using a two-hander and you're not like super geared, right? There's a soul rune and we didn't have to kill the Countess for it. Let's go. There's another scythe. Could put a strength in there. That's only 1 socket. Man, lots of these archer groups. Ow. You see that we even killed the unique one in 1 shot. That was cool. Alright, someone in here is cursed. I think it's the ghost. Oh, jeez. Good grief. And of course it's mana burn, so yeah, he ain't messing around. Letting him tank, but we're funneling potions to him as fast as we can, keeping him alive. So his aid is great for that. That's 1 bonus point for his aid versus the Act 1 Merc. Act 1 Merc ain't gonna tank for us. She can get the hell out of the way. There's a belt and a throwing knife. So when you hit a rack, note which direction you approached it from and what drops off of it, because you can approach it from that same direction and it'll drop the same type of item every time. So if that one dropped to like a throwing knife or whatever, if we approach it from that same way every time, it'll drop a throwing knife. Obviously, if you're online, your maps are resetting every time, so that's not the case, but rack farming is a thing. If you do find like a rack that drops, you know, say and you're in hell and you find a rack that drops a monarch and you're like, oh, I want a storm shield, You click that same rack 1,000 times, you'll probably find it. I used to have I don't remember which character it was on. It was before Resurrected. I had a maybe it was in Resurrected. I can't remember. But I had a character once that in Lower Kurast had a Monarch rack. Ow. Alright, let's... Our attack rating is leaving something to be desired here. Alright, that was a great drop for us. Because IO goes into those helmets we were talking about. So Hearth and Cure and Bulwark all use IO. And AM is goes into a lot of useful stuff too. So that was a great drop for us. AM goes into Peace, for example, if you wanted that kind of tech thing of making the Peace ring word. Alright. Rao. Tyr. Tal. Soul. Only level 13 Meditation Aura, but we did get level 6 Critical Strike. Damage is in the middle. So, not the best Meditation Aura, but we did roll good on our Critical Strike, which means damage-wise it should be really good. Let's see if our mercenary is strong enough to use it yet. He is not. He needs 6 more points of strength. So what we could do is go to Charcy and see if she has any, like a strength helm or something like that. $56 life and 17 cold res is interesting for the mercenary. What is his so he'd lose his lightning and some hit recovery, but he gained 50 life. I kind of like it. And then we could wear this for the resistances. Interesting. But no strength gear. Alright. We'll leave him with the resistances. Let's go get some more, re-up our potions. This one has it's only a reflex bow, so it has much lower requirements. Anyway, the Act 1 Merc could use that like right away. Ow, my back. Alright. So if we go to our Chronicle here and go to Rune Words, have we made a piece on this account since they updated this thing? We have not. Helmets though. So Bulwark is Shale Io Soul. So we would need a set. We would need 2 Shale runes because we need one for our hammer, and we would need another Soul rune. Cure is Shale Io Tal, so we would need another. We would just need the 2 Shale runes for this. I believe Hearth is Shale Io Ral or Shale Io Thol. Anyway, we'll do another Countess run and see how we do. Ooh, a scepter. Whack. There's a Spetum. That's an exceptional base, so if you didn't have an exceptional base at all up until this point, you could try that. Vengeance. Okay. There's a Thol. Oh geez, they're cursed, okay. Gotta be really careful here. Okay. Let's go ahead and give that to Hazade. We'll drink this. Nope. Boots, we need faster run walk and resistances. Mainly the resistances. So he's not going to be able to use that insight until he gets 4 more points of strength, which looks like he's only gaining 1 per level. +1 to necro skills. If we were a necro, that would be a sweet find. Alas, we are not. Actually, one thing we could check too is those helmets, Bulwark and Cure. I don't believe either of them have strength on it, but we could look. I'm like 99% sure they don't, but... A round shield. Wiston's Guard. So if you're rocking the one-hander sword and board version, you can, there's a shield for you. Ow. Oh geez. Cursed is spooky, turns out. sorry about sneezing into the microphone. That was probably really loud. So let's see, we have Shalathol. Okay. It's another Hell Rune. Alright. I'm gonna go grab a drink really fast. I'll be right back. Oh. All right. So. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. This run's starting off swimmingly. Oh, and we didn't even go to... God dang it. Ow. 20 fast run rock and some cold resist. That's not quite enough of what we're looking for. Ceremonial Javelin, that's a nice drop, because that rack could be Titan's Revenge. And Titan's Revenge is really good. So if you want to make a Javazon, that's like perfect. Jeez, don't run away, coward. Let's look at this quarterstaff, see if this got anything good on it. Nope. We're not going to worry about that group of ghosts. Probably more trouble than they're worth right now. Don't need a chance to cast Nova. There we go. Ow. There's a shale rune. There we go. Whack. Faster attack rate for or attack speed. If that was life and mana or something, that would be cool. But life and stamina, don't really care. Oh yeah, this is so much better. Because now we went from slow attack speed to fast. This is awesome. This is exactly what we needed. Now we're really cooking here. It's also harder for them to run away from us now, because they kind of, if they run when we're in mid-swing, we're not going to hit them, which is annoying. Now if we're slowed, that's still a problem. Soul, okay. Now I'm going to look really quick online and see which of those helmets gives cannot be frozen. I'm pretty sure it's Hearth. D to R Hearth. Shale Soul. Okay. So I believe we have all that stuff now. Oh, we still need another shale rune. So let me go ahead and set that up here. Let's go ahead and get rid of these venom grips. We don't need them anymore. We have crushing blow on our weapon, and a lot of it. we can also look at armor rune words as well. We want to find a decent 3 open socket armor. We leveled there. So let's go put a point in conviction. That'll give us another 5% damage and 5% reduced enemy defense, which is great. Oh, geez. That's why we don't charge in. God. That was super annoying. That's what I get for being impatient. Alright, Hazard, this is all you, buddy. God damn it. Well, that was expensive as all hell. Crap, did not mean to do that. Alright, we need some shell runes here. And a little bit more patience on my end and not running in like an idiot and getting murdered. I didn't realize that, I didn't see that guy was cursed, and then he instantly killed me. That was just stupidity on my part. Nope. Extra fast. Yeah, we're not dealing with this. We're out of here. Die, please. Thank you. Jeez. All res 16. If that had some holes in it, you can make a spirit or something. And if you, so we're just gonna take our time here. A giant axe, that could potentially be a cool one. There's a shale rune. There we go. Let's go. Now we just desperately need to find a 3 open socket rune word. Or a 3 open socket helm. Duh. I cannot talk today. Okay. Alright, let's take a peek and figure out what armor we want to make. Let's go to our rune finding website, rune words, and go armors, 3 socket armors. So piece would be Shale Thal Am. And we can look at what that gives us total. Gives us some slow missile chance when struck. Of course, the Valkyrie. Fast hit recovery. A little bit of critical strike. Some cold res. Hysteria we can't make until hell because we need a co-rune. Lionheart we can't make till hell. Same thing with Treachery. We need a Lem rune. The rest we would need an rune. So we're really looking at a piece is really our option here. If we want to make that a 3 socket chest armor. Because we have Soul Am. We just need another shale rune. And we could, so there's a shale rune. So we would need one more shale rune. Okay. Let's check our mercenary again. He still needs 4 more strength. Let's look and see if we can find him some strength gear. Unfortunately, no. So these boots as well. Well, let's move forward. I think we have the runes we need for the most part. Dude, stop running, you little coward. Oh, holy freeze, gross. Right. We really need that helmet. So, 3 open socket helmet. That's what we're looking for here. Oh, jeez. Good grief. God dang. Get off me, little bug. So at this point, we have the runes. We just need the base and demon hand gloves. There's venom grips again, really? Alright, well, I guess they really want us to have these for the poison res for Andariel, so sure. That's really weird. Find that twice in a row and no other gloves or anything else. Okay. Again, the Death's 2-piece combo would be kind of ideal. With an AM rune again. We're gonna see how well it goes when we get to Andy. Hopefully by that point we can kill her relatively easily. Because we need some upgrades, and so that means we need to do some farming. Oh, goddamn, get off me. Good grief. A shark skin belt. Just a bunch of poison res, not exactly what we're in the market for right now. Come on, let's please hit stuff. Jeez Louise. We even have like a straight up attack rating rings on, like hitting the broadside of a barn. Achilles. Shaman. Alright, let's go. Jeez. Zade, what are you doing, dude? Can you, like... Good lord. Okay. Holy. Alright, that was a bit spooky. Just friggin'... I love bosses that just explode on you. Good lord. So we're still making our way towards Andariel. We're still looking for those. We need 2 3 open socket helms. One for me, one for the Merc. Okay, here's a waypoint. Alright, does she have strength gear? Negative. Well, shucks. 2 more strength and then he can use his insight. To be so close yet so far. Okay. Don't worry about those guys. That Fallen thinks he's a big man on campus yelling at his aide to the bars like that. Okay. I just realized I probably spaced out there for a little bit and didn't really say anything. So apologies for that. It has been a weird day. Okay, so finally jail level 3. Oh, we leveled. I didn't even realize I leveled. And then let's pump some fire. I'm gonna be so mad if the next level he only goes to 112. I can already envision it. Alright. That was a bit of a spooky little hallway there. I don't need all those. Mana burn sucks. Jeez. Got hit by like 10 guys at once. Oh, good, great. Thank the Lord. We're out of there. Alright. Some a life leech ring with a little bit of res on it. Not quite what we're looking for. Okay. I fully expect to get jumped by the tainteds in here. No. Usually they kind of jump you as soon as you walk through the door. There's a rare shield. Yes, there is. Perfect. Jeez, that hurts. Our resistances are very, very bad. In fact, we continue to like on like this, I think the rune word we're really looking forward to making later on is going to be smoke. Okay, here's the waypoint. So hopefully Andariel's not super far from us, and hopefully that fight goes relatively well, because we're gonna have to. We need gear upgrades pretty bad now. Our weapon's great, but everything else is starting to look real bad. I mean, Sanders is fine, but like our rings and all that kind of stuff could all be pretty dramatically improved. Our gloves, all that kind of stuff. Pretty much everything but our boots and our weapon could be replaced. And even our boots could be replaced by like a, you know, a tri-res or something. Or even a good dual res boot. For some reason, when I put those potions away, it just reminded me of the Mario theme. I was like, womp, 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 womp. Do 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 do. I don't know if that's gonna give me a copyright strike on YouTube or something, but whatever. Oops, smack my mic. Yeah, we're not fighting that. No, thank you. Those guys are so annoying. These guys, I'll fight them, though. Mana burn, so we gotta be a little careful. How? Dun, 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 dun. Now we are going to do the antidote potion trick before we fight Andariel, because we have like no poison res. We'll have a little bit when we put on, if we put on the gloves. Yeah. She will liquefy us probably. Yep, there's the idiots again. Remember that thing I said we were going to do that we didn't do? Let's go ahead and do that right now. That's why. She literally just murdered. She basically liquefied my mercenary. Get that out of here. Alright, a perfect emerald now. That's pretty cool. So now what we're gonna do, let's get some whole bunch of these guys. And we're gonna go give him 90 seconds. Oh, curse guy. What? How did I die? That was stupid. Oh, I don't have a... God damn it. That's so frustrating. I didn't want that. I shouldn't be tilting. That shit fucking pisses me off. Like, I shouldn't have died there. That was stupid. Get away from me. Off me. I didn't want to pick up this stupid axe. I wanted to pick up my body. Ow, get off me. Where is my body? Why can't... Oh, God, this is so annoying. Why can't I pick up my body? Jesus, that was stupid. I'm getting frustrated. I'm going to end the stream as soon as this fight's over. I'm just... I don't like tilting like this, but this is starting to piss me off. Because that was all completely, like, shouldn't have happened. Get rid of this stupid bow because we're not going to use that now. Again, we'll give Hazade a bunch of these. Damn, die. And of course she drops garbage. I died in just like the most stupid spots. Like I could not pick up my body like to save the life of me. That was the thing that was really pissing me off. Like why is everything doing so much damage to me? Alright, we can roll another insight. We have a secondary base here, so we could try and roll better than what we have. Okay, let's get all this stuff put away. Let's get rid of this stupid ring. We'll keep the venom grips because we do need gear pretty badly, so maybe we might be farming some Andariel, even though that went so horrendously. Well, if you're doing the one-hand tactic, but the base damage is really low, so Vengeance wouldn't be particularly great. Okay, we're gonna go east. Alright, so let's talk to Jaren real quick and make him shut up and leave us alone. And then, my back is killing me. I think that's a big part of why I got on tilt, so I apologize for that, guys. I shouldn't do that. But anyway, we're gonna end the stream here. Completing Act 1. We definitely got some stuff taken care of. We got our shale run for our Bonesnap. We have our insight made, even though our mercenary doesn't have, is still 2 strengths short of being able to use the damn thing. We have the runes to make our hearth, and and then we would need another shale rune to make either a cure or a bulwark for our mercenary. But we can go back and do Countess again and do some more of that. I think in the next stream, I think we're not probably actually going to immediately start Act 2. I think we're going to try and do, we need gear badly. So I think we're probably going to do some Andariel runs. There's definitely something, this desperately needs to be upgraded. All of our jewelry is bad. Finding something like a Viper Magi would be really great. These are okay, and this is good, but everything else is pretty bad. Like, well, this isn't terrible, but everything, like, our charms could use a lot of love, but it's mainly our jewelry and our helmet, and it just really suck. So we desperately need to get some improvements there. Let me go ahead and repair our teleport staff before I forget going into the next stream. But we did make a good amount of headway. Well, because so we have Shale Iothol. We would need another Shale, another Io to go with our Soul Rune here to make a hearth for ourselves. But what I think I'm going to do is actually just make this second insight and see Altier, Tau, Soul, even worse meditation aura, even worse. This is just worse in every way. So we're going to get rid of it. End of the breaks. Bye. I mean, we do have a Hell Rune. We get to theoretically rip the sockets out of it and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not worried about that. So, yeah, next stream, I think, yeah, we don't have any IOs or any shales or anything left. So we definitely need to do some farming next stream. But, yeah, we will cross that bridge when we come to it. And so I will see you guys probably tomorrow. I do have interviews tomorrow and Friday. but I think I can stream after I should probably be able to stream after the interview. Hopefully, I cross our fingers that both of those go well. But I'll see you guys soon. So thank you so much for watching, and I really do appreciate everybody who's been supporting me through this and watching the content, because I'm doing this for fun, but I do like to that. I really enjoy that people are enjoying the content. So thank you so much for following and joining the Discord and watching and all that kind of stuff. And I apologize for being for tilting today. My back's really killing me. That's a big part of it. So hopefully tomorrow I'll be feeling better. But again, thanks so much. I'll go ahead and put this stream up on YouTube as always, so you will have the option to follow along there if you missed the stream or you just want to recap. So thanks again, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.